Here's how you can get 4 new listings per month consistently. The first thing that we have to realize is that if you want to get at least 4 new listings per month consistently, is that you cannot just rely on referrals, SOI, or traditional prospecting like cold calling or door knocking. So why can't we just rely on these channels or sources of leads? Well, the first reason is because SOI and referrals are hard to control. Right? It's hard to gauge exactly when you're going to get referrals. Yes, you can try to reach out to your sphere of influence and ask them if they know someone who wants to buy or sell. But at some point, a lot of them will tell you not right now, but maybe in the future, maybe in a few months, or maybe in a few years, right? So your SOI is not necessarily always short term. It's not always now business. And if you want to get 4 new listings per month consistently, you need to have some now business. Now, doesn't mean that the SOI though isn't good for the long term and that you can't keep them in your pipeline, but it's important to know that referrals and SOI are usually unpredictable and not really scalable, right? It's not like you can like turn on a switch and be like, all right, this month I want like 3 referrals. Let me go get 3 referrals. You know, it's hard to control. And that's the first thing regarding referrals and SOI. The second thing is regarding cold calling or door knocking, for example. It's also long-term, right? Most of the time people will say they're not ready right now, but follow up with me in a few weeks, in a few months, and let's see what happens. And you're building these connections, you're getting these opportunities that are there in your pipeline, but they might not necessarily convert right now. So once again, it's good to have these. And if you have the energy, the time, and the willingness to put yourself through rejection multiple times per day or per week by doing cold calling and door knocking, then be my guest, right? It works if you have what it takes to continuously do cold calling and door knocking. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's not enough to get you 4 new listings per month consistently. You need another system that is automatic, right? That runs without you or like semi on autopilot, if that makes sense. Like for example, using paid ads, right? So lead generation on YouTube ads, on Facebook ads, or Google ads, or TikTok ads, any other platform out there that doesn't necessarily require your time, blood, and sweat like when you are doing cold calling or door knocking. Now, maybe in the past you actually tried doing lead generation yourself or by hiring a marketing company or a lead generation company that were supposed to send you leads through Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, or TikTok ads, and it didn't work. Now, let me tell you one of the reasons why the lead generation don't work in general, or the companies that are supposed to send you lead are not producing results. The first one is they are not targeting the right demographic. So you might be getting just buyer leads, or what I call duds, or click by mistake leads. And a lot of them are just curious to know like how much their property is worth, or, you know, they thought they would be getting more information on a specific listing, and you find out that they're just renting. You know, they're not even own a property and they don't even have the capacity to buy in the first place. These leads are just like laying on their couch on a Saturday evening, and they're just like scrolling on Facebook or whatever the platform, and they're like, oh yeah, let me, you know, put my address to see how much my neighbor's property is worth, you know. But these leads are not actual real leads. There's a few reasons why this happens, but the most common one is because of what's being advertised, meaning the lead magnet. The reason why the leads are putting their information in the first place. For example, if you just offer the standard CMA, the free home valuation, like any other agent is doing out there, you're not really standing out. And you have to understand that a CMA, you know, people might be thinking as well that's like automatic. They might be thinking that they enter their name, email, phone number, and then automatically something will like generate the home value for them instantly, and they won't have to talk to a human. So that's why maybe if you call them back, they're like, why are you calling me? Who are you? I never thought I'd be called by a realtor. So especially if you are in a competitive market, right? A lot of agents say, well, I'm in a competitive market, lead generation doesn't work in my market. Well, there are 2 things you can do in a competitive market. One, you switch market, which isn't ideal because you'd have to like start over again from scratch. Or 2, you stand out, right? So you just need to find a way to stand out. And probably the ads that you ran in the past before, they didn't work because you were just not standing out. You were doing what every other agent is doing out there on Facebook ads, which is offering a free home valuation to try to get more sellers. Now, let's say that you understand this concept of using lead generation to generate leads and that you need to stand out. Another way for you to stand out is to brand your ads. Now, if you just use generic like video or generic creative, like in a generic picture of like a neighborhood where you see like houses and like prices on top, you know, or a map of like the neighborhood with like prices like everybody else is doing, guess what? You're not going to stand out. So you need to brand the ads stand out, be in it, record a video, put yourself out there so that you actually attract people who are drawn to your personality. And you'll notice that the quality of leads is actually way better. Why? Because they see you on camera, and then by the time you talk to them, they already expect your call. They already know who you are. The next tip I'll give you if you want to get 4 new listings per month consistently is to not use the same platform that everybody else is using. The reason that is because, once again, there's a good book called Blue Ocean Strategy, and it's basically the principle of like in an ocean where it's really competitive, you have like all these sharks competing against each other, and it's like a red ocean, right? Because like basically blood in the ocean, basically competing against each other. And then there's like a blue ocean out here where nobody is yet, right? And it's like a virgin market, a virgin opportunity where you can actually take your place there. So that's why, for example, when you use a competitive platform such as Facebook, everybody else is on there. That's a red ocean. But a blue ocean is something like YouTube ads, for example, or TikTok ads, for example. So now that you are generating leads online through a blue ocean platform that is not over competitive, and you know what to offer to attract the true sellers looking to sell, and that you are able to stand out in a competitive market. Now, the big mistake I see realtors making is the fact that they don't track with data. Even the marketing companies that they hire, this blows my mind. Like, they don't even track the data. They don't even track the whole sales funnel. And this is insane, because how are you going to sell something based off emotion? You cannot, right? You can't go off gut feeling and be like, oh yeah, I think this is working out. I think I'm profitable with my ads. I think I'm getting clients. I think I'm breaking even. You can't know, right? You need to actually track how much are you spending every single day, how many leads are you getting every single day or on a monthly basis, and then how many of these leads are actually good leads, quality leads that you're having conversations with on the phone, over text. And then the next metric is reporting how many listing appointments you are getting. And then out of these listing appointments, how many are you closing, right? How many are you actually able to list? What's your ratio from listing appointment to actually listing a property? And then from there, if you want to go further, you can track like how many of these listings you actually end up selling, right? But most realtors have zero idea of these metrics, and it's not your fault. You know, nobody teaches that. So the key here is to start doing lead generation with a budget that you are comfortable with, right? Once you start to get the first few leads, first few listing appointments, and first few closings, then because you are tracking everything, you'll see that you are getting a positive ROI, return on your investment. For example, if you are investing $500 per month, and every single month you're getting 1 or 2 closings from that, and each closing is worth $5,000, you're investing $500 to get back $10,000. So logically, without emotions, it makes sense. Now, if you are tracking that, any human being on earth would be like, well, there's a machine where I put $500 in, and every time I put $500 in, 30 days later, I get $10,000 back. Why don't I put more than $500 in? That's how you can scale the ad spend and start investing more and more in ads with confidence to then eventually work your way up to getting 4 new listings per month consistently, and even more than this. If you're not tracking anything, you're gonna feel like the problem is just with the ads or the company that you hired, and you're gonna be like, well, I tried it and it didn't work. I don't know why, but it might be because of the platform. You know, I was advertising on whatever the platform, that platform is not good, or the company is not good, right? It's not that the company might not be good actually, or the platform might be too competitive as well. But my point is, you should be able to track and identify as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, the bottlenecks, right, of the wholesale process, and know exactly what you need to improve. Is the problem the ad itself? Is it the landing page? Is it what is being communicated to the leads as soon as the lead opt-ins? Is it what's being said on the phone on the lead? Is it the time to call back the lead? Maybe it's too long to reach out to the lead. Maybe you're taking too long to contact the leads, or the company's taking too long to contact the leads. Maybe the problem is you're able to have all these metrics down within KPI, key performance indicator, like the metric that we're aiming for, but then the problem is on your listing appointment side of things. Maybe you're not closing, at 30%, and you need to be at 30% to make all of this profitable, for example.